Hi everyone, it's Little Blue and you're listening to my podcast on the 24th of December, which means it's Christmas Eve. And guess what? Father Christmas has been. I'm whispering because obviously someone's asleep in the next room and I don't want her to hear me say those words and be like, bing, right, we're waking up now, because I am knackered and I need to go to bed. But yes, we've had the best day. It's been so good, and I think it's such a great example of how positive thinking and positive planning and just not doubting your plans and doubting yourself really pays off, because the amount of times I nearly cancelled going to the pantomime today because of the financial side of it. The panto tickets, they weren't expensive like London prices or anything, but they weren't cheap either. So it was a little bit more than I probably could have afforded, but I budgeted for it and I'm so glad I did, because it was one of the best pantos I've seen in such a long time. It was hilarious. Every single cast member was brilliant. There was no like weak link or anything like that. The set was great. The effects were great. They had like an aerial dance sort of number, and the person doing the aerial was a girl who I've known since she was Baby Blue's age, and my heart was in my mouth the whole time. I was like, oh my god, please be okay. But she was incredible, and completely blown away by her. I used to work for an acting agency many moons ago, and she was one of our clients as well. And to see how far she's come in just such a short space of time is just, it's just amazing. And I don't gush when I go and see a show. I am very much more of a Craig Revel Horwood, Simon Cowell type person. I'm not mean. I don't purposefully look for flaws, but you can always tell, I think, if I've not liked it. But when I like it, I gush, like proper gush. So if I ever gush at a performance you've done, it means I genuinely loved it. I've only ever done it a few times and I hate myself when I do it. But honestly, this pantomime was great. It was so good. Loved Harry Reid, who used to play Ben Mitchell in EastEnders. He never really stood out in EastEnders. Like, certain people stand out when they're in that, but I mean, he wasn't bad, and he wasn't like amazing, but he was good. But in this, he just came into his own. He was fantastic. He was bouncing off all the other characters. It was such a different take of Aladdin. Like, he played Aladdin so differently, and he was proper little geezer kid, and I loved it. It was so good and so funny. And then I got to meet him afterwards, and he was like, all right, darling. And I just like, oh my God, I actually love you. And he was so sweet with Baby Blue as well. And I'm going to be biased, but my friend Will Fraser, who played Wishy Washy, again, exactly the same as last year. Absolutely hilarious, brilliant. You could tell he was being a bit naughty half the time. But yeah, it was so good. We really enjoyed it. And Baby Blue, I thought she'd fall asleep, but she didn't. She was just up, dancing, didn't want to go home, messing around with all the techies as well at the end of it. Gosh, one of the things when you know everybody in the blooming, all the staff at the theatre, it was just such a great day. What else did we do? Oh, we met up with Kate. Before we went to Panto, we met up with my friend Kate, and she gave Baby Blue her birthday presents. We haven't seen her to do that yet. So she got birthday presents and Christmas presents, so she was spoilt rotten. I also got Christmas presents, which is lovely, because I got Lush bath bomb. Oh, I can't even tell you how excited I was. Like, I hadn't even opened the present and I could smell it. And I was like, I know that smell. Am I right? Do I know what shop this is from? And I was like, sniffy. And not only had she got me a Lush bath bomb, she's got me one of my top 3 Lush bath bombs. It's called Twilight, and it makes your bath look like the night sky. My other 2 are Intergalactic, which is very similar to Twilight, and also one called Yoga Bomb, but I don't think they do that one anymore. I'm sure that one stopped. It was sort of like a citrusy orange. It's orange coloured, and it was like a citrusy smell. But there was something in it that just really chilled me out and relaxed me, and I love it. But yeah, I'm so excited about having a bath. And I've also got a shower jelly Never used that before, but it looks quite interesting, and I can imagine it being quite nice. So I've got a twilight version of that, and there was a plum one as well, which I'm not too sure what it was called exactly, but it was something plum, and it smelled gorgeous. So excited about that. I absolutely love Lush. And yeah, baby Blue was spoilt rotten. She had everything colouring in. She's got DVD, she's got books, she's got headphones. Honestly, she's just such a lucky little girl. And she was so well behaved in Costa. Like, I went up to order my food and she just sat there at the table playing with the little book that I'd bought for her to play. And then I said, can I go and speak to a friend who'd walked in? She sort of just sat there playing while I had a chat, and just wonderful. She was so good today. And I rounded off the day as well. After the panto, my friend Kate said to me, oh, could you come by mine on your way home? And we did. And she'd been to Lidl, and Lidl were giving out free bunches of flowers, so she got me one, which was just lovely. So I've got a lovely bouquet of flowers in a vase now on my table. And it's actually the first bunch of flowers that I have received since I've moved here, which I moved in March. So it's just lovely to finally get to use my vase again. And they're gorgeous. They're red and white, which matches my colour theme for Christmas. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And in it did that thing where they had like sticks with, one had a Christmas present and then there was a pine cone on a stick and it was in with the bouquet. But because I had to cut the flowers down, it didn't look right in the vase. So I've put them in my Christmas tree. And honestly, you wouldn't even know that they weren't there this morning. It looks fantastic. So they're now going to be a Christmas decoration. And yeah, I'm just so chuffed. So chuffed. And The Holiday has just been on TV as well. Love that movie. I was a bit late coming to The Holiday. I think I only watched it for the first time last year. And considering parts of it were filmed in a village near to where I live, probably should have watched it sooner. But yeah, it's a beautiful village. If you're ever sort of Guildford, Dorking, Surrey way, definitely pop to Shear. It's gorgeous. It's Shere, and it's sort of in between the two towns. But it is a proper countryside village. It's how I imagine Dibley from the Vicar of Dibley to be. It is that sort of country, bumpkiny, lovely little cottages, and there's a little stream that goes through, and lovely little knick-knacky shops, and there's a tea room and things like that. And it's honestly, it is the most gorgeous little village. Anyway, when I have people come to stay with me, if they want to see parts, I always jump on the bus and take them to Shear, because it is just gorgeous. It is so lovely. And in the summertime, all the kids paddle in the stream and people have picnics along it. But I'd love to go there in the snow, but I think I'd get stranded because I don't drive. But yeah, I'd love to walk around Shear in the snow. It must just look like Hogsmeade from Harry Potter or something, because it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I've just been watching that, and it's such a feel-good movie that it's just left me feeling really perfect end to a perfect day. Honestly, it was so good. Say that Baby Blue did have a little hissy fit on the way home, but just before we got in, she turned to me and she goes, I think I'm tired, Mummy, I'm really sorry. And the fact that she even recognised that and then apologised for it just made my heart sing, because it just shows that she's really maturing, and she's just, yeah, it's just lovely. It's just lovely to see. Also, another positive thing that's happened today, while I was in Costa with Kate having our coffee, she told me that her other half, Andimo, has been listening to the podcast, and he was really complimentary about it, because there was one day he'd had a really awful day at work, she said, and he was feeling really down about Christmas and all that sort of stuff, a little bit like I was. And then he heard one of my podcasts where I talked about budgeting for Christmas and just finding the positives and keep going. And it really perked him up, and it just really moved him. So it just made me quite warm and fuzzy inside to know that I've done these podcasts, people are listening, and it is actually helping people. So hi, Antimo, if you're listening. And I know Kate listens regularly as well, so it's just lovely to know that I'm touching people, which is fantastic. So please, honestly, if you are getting something from these podcasts, please do leave me a message on any of my Instagram posts, because I'd love to hear from you. Or you can email me at akalittleblue@gmail.com. I do check them. I haven't been checking them regularly. I probably should do. But yeah, it would just be lovely to hear from you. Any feedback, any stories of like you've heard something I've suggested and you've tried and it's worked and it's just, yeah, I love it. Would absolutely love to hear from you. I've just had that wave of, oh my God, I'm absolutely knackered. It come over me, and I haven't watched my vlogs yet. Zoe Sugg has been doing Vlogmas, and I'm really addicted to it. And of course, being Christmas Eve, I think there'll be one today and there'll be one tomorrow. Her Christmas Eve one will be tomorrow. So I desperately want to watch it. Although her other half, Alfie, and her brother Joe have not been so good at Vlogmas. And I've been really looking forward to Joe's because he's in Australia at the moment. And I'm finding it so interesting finding out how people celebrate Christmas in a different country. And especially when it's hot. Because obviously it's their summer. It's their summertime. And my brain cannot comprehend Christmas in the sun. And it must be the other way around for Australians. You must be like, you see the movies with it and things like that, and you must see the Christmas cards with all the snow and Christmas trees and stuff, but to you it must be so alien. And yeah, it's just, I'm really enjoying seeing how different it is. I mean, if you're from Australia or you've been to Australia for Christmas, I'd love to hear what your experience was like, because it's just so interesting. Australia's sadly one of those countries I probably will never go to, because I have the biggest phobia of spiders. And I'm really awful with heat, so I'd have to go in the winter anyway. But I'm absolutely awful with any sort of heat or too much humidity. I find I can't breathe, and I get really sick, and yeah, so I'd much rather go somewhere in the UK. No offence to Australia, because there are so many places in Australia and New Zealand as well that I would love to see and visit. I want to go to Rottnest more than you can imagine and see the quokkas. It's like on my bucket list, but I don't think it's something I'll ever be able to do. So yeah, and they've done that. Joe and Diane went and did that the other day. Sorry, I'm rambling, but what was my main point about this podcast? My main point was, when you make plans, you keep those plans, even though your head is saying you need to cancel this, you shouldn't go. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go, sort of thing. If you were looking forward to it at some point, there is an element of you that is going to enjoy it. So just, if you really don't want to go and it's making you feel ill and awful and really negative, obviously then that's a different situation. But for me, in this situation, it was just the finance of it. And I thought, if I got a refund, I could have that money back and we could do this, and this. But then we wouldn't have got to go to this panto, and we wouldn't have these wonderful memories, because honestly, it has made some great lasting memories that I think are going to stick with Baby Blue now, because she really enjoyed herself. She absolutely loved it. She was dressed as Princess Jasmine as well, in true Baby Blue style. We went to Beauty and the Beast last year dressed as Belle, and we then went to an Easter panto, which was Peter Pan, and she was dressed as Tinkerbell. The Easter panto is Wizard of Oz, so I'm going to have to try and get a Dorothy outfit, unless she wants to be the Tin Man or something, but I very much doubt it. So, and that's starring Bobby Davro. We do love Bobby. Bobby comes back every single year. So, Bobby has seen Baby Blue since she was a baby. He literally just took her off me and was snuggling her. He loves children, but he's such a lovely guy. But anyway, I'm coming to the end of my podcast. I've started rambling, so that's a good indication that I should probably get to bed. Or I could watch Zoella's vlog. I might watch Zoe's vlog and then go to bed. And then it's Christmas morning, and I can't wait. Oh, my present, I'm going to put a video on Instagram of her opening it, because it's ginormous and her eyes are going to pop out of her head like a cartoon character. You just wait. Keep watching my Instagram tomorrow, because she's going to go mental. Anyway, Good night, Merry Christmas, have a fantastic day tomorrow, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow with another podcast. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.